My name is Jules, and I help children and families look after their mental health. So if you have any questions, no matter how big or small, why don't you write me a Dear Jules letter to this email address, and I'll see if I can help. Remember, this is not for emergencies, so if you have an urgent question, or you or anyone you know is in any danger, you can call Childline at any time on 0800 1111. But for everything else, Dear Jules is here to listen. I've received a letter from a girl I'm going to call Wishing and Hoping. She's 7 years old, and she wrote to tell me about her eczema. It's been really bad lately, and she's been arguing a lot with her mum and feeling pretty rubbish most of the time. She says at the end of her note, "This is my only wish. I hope it comes true. I wish I didn't have eczema." Well, wishing and hoping. Let's see if I can help. It is completely normal to argue with your parents. Whilst we can't go back and change the things that we said or the things that we did when we were in an argument, what we can do is decide that next time we're going to do things differently. So I wonder, what might you do differently next time you're feeling angry? Maybe you could take a few deep breaths, go to your bedroom and take some time to calm down. Or you could write down all of your angry thoughts on a piece of paper, and then when you're feeling calm again, rip them all up into tiny pieces and throw them away. And you know, when we have arguments with our family, sometimes the best way to solve them is to talk about it. So I wonder whether you and your mum could sit down together and come up with a plan for what you might do next time you're feeling angry. Let's think a little bit about those magic powers of yours. You're wishing and hoping as hard as you can that your eczema will disappear, but it doesn't seem to be making any difference. Well, I hope you've been to see a GP and that the GP has given you some creams or some medicines that might ease the discomfort a little bit. And whilst I can't do that, what I can do is to help you think a little bit differently about your eczema, and in doing so, hopefully change the way that you feel about it. I wonder if you could imagine yourself like a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle, and your eczema is just one tiny piece of that puzzle. Now, when we're feeling cross or angry or worried or frightened, our brains play tricks on us, and they focus in just on the tiniest thing rather than seeing the whole picture. And I wonder whether sometimes your brain's doing this for you, focusing on the one piece of the jigsaw puzzle that is your eczema, and not thinking about the 999 other things that make you who you are. Perhaps you could try this as an experiment for me. Get a piece of paper and at the top write your name in big letters. And underneath, I'd like you to write down as many words as you possibly can to describe you. Now, ideally, I'd like you to write 1,000 different words, but that might be a bit tricky. So why don't we start with just 20, and then you can add to them each day. And these words could be describing words about the way that you look, or they could be describing words about the way that you feel, or they could be ways to describe your personality. They could be ways to describe your family. Anything you like can go onto this paper to try and create a jigsaw puzzle of you. Now, you might find that the eczema makes it onto the list, because after all, it is a part of you. And it's okay if some of the other things on the list are not positive things, because these all make up the people that we are. But the purpose of this exercise is for you to understand that there are lots and lots of different things that all add up to make you who you are. And the eczema is just a tiny part of it. This will also help as a really useful distraction, which can be useful when you're feeling that your skin is itchy and you're thinking about wanting to scratch. So next time you're thinking about your eczema, perhaps instead you could focus on all the many other pieces of the jigsaw puzzle that go towards making you the fabulous person that you are. And that really would be magic. Thank you for writing to me.